Hey folks, just a quick one. It's been a while. I just thought I'd have a little chat about what's going on with the Ukraine war. It's just come to my attention that Merz in Germany, the guy who was really elected, and he's just given permission to put Ukraine to use long-range weapons into Russia. I'm no fan of Russia. I'm no fan of Ukraine. Let me get that right. I'm no fan of EU either. In fact, I probably detest EU more than Russia or Ukraine, as they have such fair elections, democratic elections. If they don't like it, they get to do it again, or ban people or whatever. But due to the fact that now they can use long-range weapons into Russia, it means it's escalating. It's not, they're not bringing it down a level, they're taking it up a level, because Russia will use bigger and longer-range weapons back at them. Russia's been pretty much stayed in one area. They haven't actually took all of Ukraine. Now, I keep hearing people saying, yes, but if we don't stop the Russians, they'll take over Europe. Now, if they can't take the Ukraine, they can't take Europe, can they? Can you see logic in that? But if they could take Europe and they wanted all of Ukraine, I think they would have took all of Ukraine before. You see logic. But by escalating this, then it brings it into another dimension where it could bring NATO into it and Europe into it. Now, Starmer, your leader, has also tied the UK to European military. Now, whether NATO get involved or not, but the European military might. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if they did, then UK would start doing conscriptions on its young men. So, I don't know what Starmer's game is, but I mean, even most people who voted for him, I think, now realise that he's a complete and utter twat, an idiot, a puppet, or something. He's got an ulterior motive. He's certainly not going to be voted in again. But if there were, say, a war, there wouldn't be any more votes until that war ended. There would be no elections. Same as if it seems like all the things he's doing is pushing British, which might push them towards civil unrest. And if there was civil unrest, then it could basically stop elections again. You know what I'm saying? If it was military had to be brought to the streets at UK. Also, if there was civil unrest and because we're tied up to the European armies or European military now, it could do exactly the same thing as the Romans did and bring in, rather than have our military control our people, it could ask for help from Germany or France or whatever army from Europe to come and patrol the streets at UK. I know it sounds stupid, sounds far out, but experts have said they're expecting civil unrest in the next 5 years in England. Now, be that as it may, all lads got conscripted and sent out to fight Russia, and then any civil unrest in UK is controlled by a different army. The European dream. Thought we got rid of Nazis. Seems like the EU and the people running country have taken us back a step, in my eyes. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Nice to be nice.